Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said,
This Turning Point conference, these were in the front of out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs.
Every single person that attended that Turning Point, every Republican speak up against these, because against the flags that were waved.
You let them in.
President, open your mouth.
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit.
We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it.
I get it. I also hate Joy Behar. So I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird. So I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back.
The View just picked a fight they can't win, and Joe Rogan lit the fuse with a flamethrower. What started as a smug smear on national TV spiraled into a media firestorm no PR team can contain. Whoopi Goldberg tossed accusations like confetti, targeting thousands of young conservatives with zero evidence. Within days, Charlie Kirk filed a lawsuit worth $100 million, and then Joe Rogan showed up, not with legalese, but with a mic, a smirk, and a verbal sledgehammer that shredded the studio silence.
So, Charlie, do you accept the View's apology?
Regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to neo.
What followed wasn't just backlash, it was cultural detonation, and the fallout, oh, it's just getting started. It started with a casual slander, the kind of smear The View delivers with a smile and a coffee mug in hand. Whoopi Goldberg, from her plush daytime perch, looked into the camera and unleashed a bombshell that neo-Nazi symbols had shown up outside the Turning Point USA conference, and somehow that smear fell squarely on the shoulders of the 5,000 high school and college students who attended. No clarification, no wait. Let's double check. Just national TV branding an entire generation of kids with one of the ugliest labels imaginable.
This is the most important part. This is right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest statement.
And worse, she didn't walk it back. She doubled down. No retraction, no accountability, just another segment, another commercial break, and the kind of elitist grin that assumes no one will dare punch back. They thought they could label teenagers as extremists, shrug it off, and move on like nothing happened. They thought they were untouchable, but what they didn't expect was someone would actually fight back. Charlie Kirk didn't clap back with a tweet. He showed up with lawyers. Within days of The View's televised smear, he dropped a lawsuit so massive it made headlines across the political spectrum.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies-infested hen house.
And at the same time, it seemed like the most interesting part was their audience seemed to be on my side.
Yes.
And that's their audience.
Yes. Well, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows.
$100 million. Not a typo, not clickbait. A 9-figure legal warhead aimed straight at ABC and The View. This wasn't a PR stunt or some symbolic gesture to make a point. This was a declaration of war. A message to legacy media, say it on national TV, you better prove it in court. And Kirk didn't make this about himself. He positioned the lawsuit as a shield for the 5,000 students, 16 Mayans and 17-year-olds from across the country who showed up to a conference and left branded as extremists by Hollywood elitists on daytime television.
The real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. I think the problem with that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. You know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her.
So between ambushing Zelensky and this, why would world leaders continue to come to the White House?
Well, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. If you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, a lot of them are paid because they have to guarantee that there's going to be people there. So there's services that you hire.
This is the problem with getting all your information from Laura Loomer and Elon Musk. This is what they're going to deal you.
It's a very strange show.
Kids who now have to carry that label into job interviews, college applications, and real life. All because someone wanted a few viral claps from the studio audience. It was ruthless, calculated, and completely necessary because Kirk understood something most people in his position don't. If you don't fight back, they'll keep doing it. But while lawyers circled, Joe Rogan loaded his mic with verbal dynamite. Joe Rogan didn't bring a scalpel. He brought a chainsaw. While most media figures would tiptoe around defamation lawsuits or play nice for brand safety, Rogan dove in headfirst, laughing, roasting, and dragging The View like it was open mic night at the Apollo. He didn't just disagree. He obliterated. He called them elitist, out of touch, a smug clique cosplaying as a talk show. He compared their panel to a rabies-infested henhouse and a carnival act that forgot it's not supposed to be taken seriously.
The culture shift between right and left authoritarianism, and now people don't recognize that if you just stopped looking at it in terms of red and blue, look at the actions. Suppression of free speech, pharmacological interventions that are mandatory, whatever it is. That used to all be associated with the authoritative right, the authoritarian right. And now those things are being embraced by the left. And I just think it's just an ideology thing. And I think we get confused and we think we're on the right side. We're on the right side. And if it's our side that's saying this, for sure that's the right thing to do. And no one's critically thinking about this.
And just like that, the internet caught fire. Clips of Rogan's takedown spread like digital napalm from X, Twitter, to TikTok, to YouTube Shorts. Memes, stitches of memes. The reaction wasn't set just viral. It was cultural combustion. Rogan wasn't set just mocking talk show hosts. He was exposing a system, one that preaches accountability, but panics the moment it's held to its own standards. And audiences across the spectrum, left, right, center, ate it up. Because whether you love or hate him, Rogan said what millions were thinking. These people aren't set just wrong. They set Ian insulated, delusional, and drunk on their own moral fumes. And that's when people noticed The View went completely silent. And then nothing. No fiery rebuttal. No sassy segment. Not even a forced PR apology. For a show that thrives on chaos, confrontation, and carefully timed moral outrage, The View suddenly had nothing to say. The same hosts who leap at every trending controversy vanished. No defense, no correction, no attempt to spin the story. Just a weird, uncomfortable quiet. But the internet, it doesn't do silence. As The View sat frozen in its leather chairs, the online world filled the vacuum. Memes flooded in, threads popped up. Receipts were pulled, clips were clipped, and commentary creators smelled blood in the water. Because silence isn't neutral anymore, it's suspicious. And coming from a platform that claims to be brave and unfiltered, this sudden vow of silence was louder than any rant they've ever broadcast.
Her disgusting, gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding.
Just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly give birth.
But silence wasn't safety. It was strategy, and a bad one. For years, The View dished it out, smearing, mocking, and moralizing from the comfort of their daytime throne. And whenever someone pushed back, they played victim. The tears, the gasps, the pearl clutching. It was always the same script. Throw punches, then hide behind the PR curtain when someone dares swing back. But this time, the curtain caught fire. What used to be an untouchable fortress of legacy media is now just another target in the crosshairs of independent creators who don't need ad sponsors to speak freely. Rogan isn't playing their game. He made his own arena. And while The View needs applause signs and a team of producers to generate buzz, Rogan records in a studio with no script and still buries them in reach, relevance, and raw influence. Even the audience, staged. Producers handpick the crowd, cue the reactions, and edit the optics. It's not authenticity. It's theater. PR theater, dressed up as moral clarity. And people people are finally starting to see through it. The View used to control the narrative. Now they're stuck inside it, fumbling to escape a backlash that isn't just social, it's legal. And what discovery in court could reveal might finish what Rogan started. This isn't set just headlines and hot takes anymore. Now it sets subpoenas. Discovery. Behind closed doors, ABC isn't scrambling for a clever comeback, they spear scrambling for legal cover. Because this lawsuit, it cracks open everything they never wanted the public to see. Internal emails, Slack threads, behind-the-scenes conversations that might show just how little evidence backed their accusations.
Joe Rogan is the gateway drug for young men that thought they were Democrats to become MAGA. Joe Rogan is the bridge. And on that bridge, they'll see RFK. They'll see Elon Musk.
How much they really knew before smearing 5,000 kids on live television. And if any of it points to intent, malice, deliberate defamation, the fallout won't stop at The View. This is the moment legacy media dreads, when the game shifts from public opinion to legal obligation. Because courtrooms don't care about applause breaks, there's no cut to commercial when a deposition starts. And for once, they're not the ones asking the questions. They are the ones under oath. If Kirk succeeds, even partially, it sets a terrifying precedent for the mainstream media. You don't get to toss accusations for clout and walk away unscathed. You say it on air, you better be ready to say it again in court. Because this isn't just about one TV show, it's about the collapse of an entire media empire. Long before the first court date is set, the verdict is already in, at least where it matters most: public opinion. Legacy media is bleeding trust, their ratings in decline, their cultural influence cracked and crumbling. Because in the era of podcasts, live streams, and independent creators, people don't want a script, they want the truth. And Joe Rogan, he doesn't need a network. His audience dwarfs daytime TV. While The View begs for claps from a studio full of paid seat fillers, Rogan's listeners tune in willingly from cars, gyms, bedrooms, and offices around the world. He isn't just a podcaster. He's a cultural wrecking ball, smashing through the glossy facade of institutional media with raw, unscripted honesty.
I get it. I also hate Joy Behar. So I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird. So I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show. If the CIA is engineering, Antifa in the Capitol riot, some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View.
Meanwhile, The View has become a punchline, mocked for its fake diversity, hollow outrage, and predictable virtue signaling. Every episode feels like a rerun of the same performance, one that's growing more irrelevant by the day. And the lawsuit? Its stips already landed a blow, not just in the legal system, but in the court that actually shapes the future, the audience's trust. People are waking up. They are not just watching the fallout, they are rooting for it. And if you think this was a one-off, just wait. The challengers are coming. This wasn't just a takedown. It was a turning point. The Viewcep's once polished veneer shattered. Their credibility torpedoed in full view of the internet. They didn't just fumble a segment, they exposed themselves as everything they accuse others of being: arrogant, insulated, and dangerously careless. For decades, mainstream media strutted through scandals like royalty, untouchable, unchallenged, immune to consequence. But now, that empire is buckling. Because this isn't about a single defamation lawsuit. It's steps about what comes next. Rogan didn't just criticize The View, he detonated a cultural revolution in real time. He made a spectacle of their hypocrisy, and millions watched it burn. Kirk's lawsuit, it's more than a legal threat. It's a warning shot to every legacy platform that thinks they can smear, mock, and manufacture narratives without repercussions. The old rules are dead. Say something reckless on national TV, and someone just might show up. Not with a hashtag, but with lawyers and receipts. And when that happens, not even your cushy network contract can save you. The View thought they were untouchable. Now they're not just being touched, they're being dragged.